welcome to the channel. I'm going to be sharing with you guys a high-level overview of how to use GoHighLevel's V2 API Auth Endpoints. And so I'm using Node-RED to build in flows that do three things. One of the flows take a generated code, then use that code to get the tokens like the refresh token, the access token, company ID, and everything that GoHighLevel returns in response, saves them into the Postgres database. And the third option or the third flow, a webhook that can provide a location ID and just returns the information that was stored previously in the database. Of course, you can, with any programming languages, platforms, you can combine or do whatever you like it to do that satisfies your workflow. So the first few things that I will do is start the Node-RED server. So I'm going to go into that project and using Pixel, I will activate the shell, and then simply I'm going to start the Node-RED server. And from here, I will then, and the reason why I moved the console window is because I've set it to display more information so I can investigate it when I'm debugging. So right now, the Node server I have is on my local server. So HTTPS, local parents, and port is a. Now, the first time I come here, I need to provide my password, but after that, it remembers, so I don't have to do console. So I am giving the password right now. So here, username, login. Here, so this flow, the Auth GHL complete, is the one where we, after the port 1880, and unfortunately, you can use Cloudflare if you're running this from your own computer, and you want to expose to outside world. You can use Cloudflare's Tunnel and Rock. I'm sure there are a lot more options to do that, or use a server from one of the three major providers, AWS, Google, or Azure, and of course there's a lot. There's many more that provides you with a server that's somewhere else that you can use, and then attach a domain name to it, to the IP address, so you can use SS certificates so that your connection to and from is secure. So now what I'm going to do here is this import Auth GHL complete. Now in the console here in the networks, it's not going to, well here, I'll show you what I mean. So enter powers, port, okay, and now first I could change this to whatever I want and choose. So you could do multiple depths. So my Auth GHL complete, something else, and you can make this dynamic, and then we're saying, hey, expect location ID. So right now, I'll just keep it at that path, but because it's hosting it, it's my webhook, and I can change it to whatever I choose and want to. Just make sure that it's not, that path is not being in the other flows. So if I do Auth-GHL complete, and I'm going to now enter one of my sub accounts. Of course, this will work. This process I've set up works with Aaron and your sub accounts. And you can't use this process on other agency accounts, but your own account and your other applications, can, if you're using Postman to test, or there are literally hundreds of tools to make posts and get requests. And this method, I can change it to whatever, but if I set this to post in it, I just simply can't go into the browser and enter, because most of the browsers, they're set up for, get requests, giving me information. Here, so right now, you're not going to see much here. And I want to only listen for, there we go, yeah, GHL information. But what has happened in the background, because I'm not returning anything, is let's go here. So it was listening for so this endpoint, wherever you're serving, and it's listening for this path with what we're trying, the location ID, and then afterwards. So one of the keys that's really important that you have to do the first time is constructing if you're a new URL, and then when you open up the dev file, you need to copy the headers, because without this, then you cannot automate the process of particularly generating the code for any of your sub accounts, and then you need that code, of course, to use for your whatever you want to do, whatever the scopes that you have provided to the app. Okay, and then so this, as you can see here, coming here, giving the client ID dynamically, location, redirect, scopes, user, all that stuff. What's really cool is so here where you see authorize, use this so you don't have to go in. Well, first, initially, what I mentioned here in the headers area, you have to do this first time. It's a manual thing that you have to. Now, there are ways where you can browse or list technology to automate this. Now, that's not necessary just because this does not change that much and hasn't changed. And in this particular situation, I've been testing it for 2 to 3 weeks. That it has not changed. But on other systems like the Xano, the similar processes that I've used a base 64 token as opposed to the header information, and that has not changed. Hopefully, GoHighLevel provide updates their system so we can't use this workaround, because if someone has access to that, they effectively control your account. But that's why I'm not going to share this. This is a shout out to whoever's watching this. They have a GoHighLevel Pro account that's used strictly for testing. There's no real data in there that could be used by others. Unfortunately, we've got all individuals to do that stuff, and so therefore I can show you this information. But if you're watching this and you're interested, and you have that account that you use for strictly testing purposes, reach out. You can do a full low and step by step showing everything in detail. If somebody can pull this out and deploy that again. Okay. Now, so this, what it's going to do. So when I run this right here, so this is some kind of this given code, right? Again, whatever your heart desires. So now what this is going to do is it returns here in the, let me look at it. Oh yes, I forgot to turn on the database. So that's, okay, so I'm going to open there. Yeah, so here I'm using for the Postgres SQL. So I'm going to start that server. All right, so now we'll be able to hopefully do it. Okay, network here. Let's see if I can get this. All right. Some different code. And here it's expecting a location ID, which is right here. And we'll see what happens. Okay, that was use Firefox. There we go. So again, had previously logged in using Firefox, so that's why I didn't request a password. Okay, so here's Firefox in the end, local host, port, given code, and then one of my sub accounts. And if I regenerate, you'll see the code is changed. So this would be useful if you want to provide the code to others that they can use it to get GHL tokens. Now, going into this next, so here is the Git code flow, and the response. The reason that we're seeing that response here is because where it shows the webhook request in HTTP in, and here is the response to that. Good. Always good. Let's check out now get the tokens, and essentially this what it does is that when you or yourself, others programmatically hit your input and get GHL tokens, in my situation, again, you can name it whatever you like. What it is going to do is provide us. So here, here can get GHL tokens and then the subnet. So here is all this info that GoHighLevel provides in its return. And just to test that, so this is not going to generate a new refresh token because it's simply getting it based on the location ID. If I wanted to, if I wanted to get, okay, if I wanted to have, like for instance, if I do this again, it's going to, so then, yeah, all right, here. So if I wanted to update this, then from generate like new refresh token, in this flow, I would need to hit this endpoint Auth GHL complete, which was, okay, so let shell to leave, then / and then and your, and this, do this manually, but of course, all of it is automated. It can be like, yeah, it can be automated, whatever platform that you're using. So now, and again, hitting this endpoint, like we said here, it's not returning anything. It's just everything is happening in the background. So for example, so if I show, check this out. Okay. So if I hit enter and refresh, and let me, so here, so these are debug nodes. So I'm going to, just turn this on and turn this on and deploy it. Okay. And go back to here and let me cut this out and close that. And then you'll see that we got the redirect URL here. Here's the code that's here that's brought to us, and then we're using that code to then have a payment of the access token and so forth. So this will change. So let me, here, I'll keep that up just to show you that it did update. Go find there where it is. Right. So we begin, and here is save it. So it says, because I activated this complete flare, what happened is we got a new code right here. So this ends in F4F9, and if I come here, it was CAC before. So, and let's look at the initial access token. It's UMA, and here it's BBU. Of course, this is saved in the database, and to show what's happening is now we get GHL tokens. So now if we're hitting get GHL tokens and we refresh, and yeah, so here you can see, here, let me collapse these. Okay. So if I do this again, it's going to be the same thing. Okay. So it's SABU. Okay. So the latest, what we did, yeah, we're right here. So kind of the Postgres, the database, what we did is, and this is looking for, I've set up the SQL query to focus on the location ID, so that if the location ID exists, it just updates it. If not, it creates it. And you can see that, the access token is an SB right here. The same thing that we are getting the response right here, SBB. I know an individual wanted to know, how can we change this endpoint, right? So let's change this to, instead of Git, let's use Git paint, right? And we could destroy, and I'm going to erase everything and update this, because if I enter this, nothing was going to happen, right? Because now it's expecting, yeah, here it is, SVB. However, these tokens, well, previously, as you can see, I had like mini closure. I had a setup where, besides this flow, where just generates a code used to get the tokens, I had it set up that every time you wanted to get the code, the access token, make sure they were valid, we would generate a code. So there's many ways to go about this, and different ways to set it up that essentially automates the generation of the code. When a code is generated and it's used and it fails or succeeds, it doesn't really matter. That code does not work again. And, and so if you have static programs that requires an access token, be available without changing for a long time, you could use this approach. But, and there might be some individuals that have a different perspective. But hey, if you can generate every single time, generate new code, generate new access and refresh tokens, and the scopes of it, and then I think that's more security or better security, because it's always changing. But at the same time, your information is saved in a database. And of course, you can choose a database if you're choosing. You can set it up locally or on a cloud. But since it's just a test environment, I'm using, Postgres SQL here. And then, so here, I need to, let's see. Now, by no means a database expert, but, just through, just use basics of what you need to get done. So I'm going to test set. So we're sending everyone all the columns from our table called OAuth on CRUD, where we'll just where. Now here in the Node-RED, you can, whatever location ID is passed, you can dynamically get that and then it checks. But we'll just say where, and of where location. It could be ID, capital I, lowercase I, it doesn't make a difference. And I will just enter in. So I only want to get that and hit. So you see here, so I got the access token, refresh token, user type, company ID, location ID. Now, if I just do this, then you can see so around this code where I was testing had no values in there. So I said, hey, revocation ID is null. And so as you can see, it is, so I have a few location IDs here, as they're all different. And these will get updated every single time that we use them. So for example, let's try another location ID, and we were using GoHighLevel here. So I'm going to use this one. And the refresh token, if you look at it here, if we scroll all the way down, so that is BAUS. Okay. I'm going to remove this. Okay, and cancel, and then hit that, and if we come to, so it's POT0W, and if I do it again, and rerun the per, it's UGY. So as you can see, it's updating the database, and it is working nice and dandy. So the platform that I'm using, Node-RED, I'm learning still. I'm still learning, and that the capabilities, a long time ago, I tried N, but that's some weird licensing where you're kind of in the end to use their cloud service, and for business sake, you really, at that point, it's like, do you really care about open source, or do you want to use NAN because it works? And I believe that Node-RED is more of an open source. Now there's companies that are built on top that provide additional capabilities. So the underlying engine, i.e. Node-RED, is open source, but then they build proprietary systems on top of it. But they do add benefits and value. One of the ones that I've tried that I was really impressed was called Fuse. And for a production environment that, money is at stake and real business needs to happen, you could use those companies that built their solutions on top of Node-RED, or you can just use Node-RED standalone if you feel comfortable with running up a server, security, authentication. I mean, there's a lot more that goes in that they provide out of the box. So it just all depends. This is an no-cost solution. Again, if you have a computer you can dedicate, to your own, like at home, at the office, and use an Ngram, Cloudflare, Tunnel, and either public traffic and the folks that you grant access to can retrieve information what they would like. And having talked about, so now, okay, well, what's the point of the tokens, or Axter, refresh token, those scopes, all that stuff? Well, when we have that information, then we can use the developed GoHighLevel version 2 APIs. So if I go to, I think it's GoHighLevel.sublet.io, you can get here from like developers. It's cloud. So developers. I would trust, this is GoHighLevel's official developer site, and you have access to the marketplace, communities, which lead you to the GoHighLevel developer council Slack channel, documentation. Do not use the version 1 docs. They will be deprecated in the month of June, so we're almost at the end of January. So in the next 2 months, these are going to be maintained, worked on. So if they break somehow, you don't have access. Like the aging server, we do not have access to GoHighLevel's internal code to make fix. So start using API version 2 docs that requires OAuth, and as you saw how easy it was to get code to use that code to grab the tokens. And so here, if I click right here, it'll take me to the same thing, highlevel.sublet.io. So yeah, you can either go there directly and then just click on integrations API. And now, let's, test it out. So now I just test it out. I think the test that I had was, so we'll try to get the location, custom values, read only. And so, sorry, there we are. And so yeah, this was that subline that recently got purchased. Swagger, but of course, Swagger was purchased by another company. It is like Bears something, but they're still retaining their stoplight branding here. Okay, so we want to read only, so it's going to be get with custom. Let's see. All right, so we need to pass some location ID and custom values, right? Really quickly, we can test this out. Before I do that, I want to make sure I just get, okay. Okay, so let's run that. So we know that we just generated tokens. Then for that, okay, so now we're going to get tokens. So here, for some odd reason, like in your actual code, you don't need this. As you can see, the headers only if you have reservation and you put bears in that token in the version. But for some reason, they either GoHighLevel themselves or stoplight.io request the access token twice. So now we're going to have it in here, and then the location ID, okay, the version that was 2128, that's only one, and let's send it to a live server, see what happens. Yeah. So I guess that location. All right, let me try a different account, and we'll see. So where is our error? So we're going to use this. First, we want to make sure we have updated tokens. Good. We'll do that again. Okay. Okay, Sharon. There we go. So now we got the custom values, and they are all of them. And then, of course, if we wanted to, because the scopes have access to location custom values, we could do, with posts, write more information. And to know what the scopes offer, like, or say, well, can we update it? Can we delete it? And here at GoHighLevel makes it really easy through stoplight.io. And if I search for, there we go. So location right? Location right. Wait, is there to make sure? Oh, that's for SaaS. That's different. So for locations, there we go. So location right for custom values can do put and delete. So I can do with this scope allows me to do put post and delete, and then the read only it allows me to just retrieve the information or get the information. And sometimes if you're testing this out and you're like wondering why isn't it working, just make sure that the scopes have access to the endpoint, to the methods, and because that can cause an issue. Like, hey, I've seen this error message on Slack so many times, and the errors are really, really direct. They're telling you, hey, you don't have permission to perform this. Now I'm paraphrasing, but essentially it's like, hey, it says in plain language that you do not have permission to access this location or to perform this action. And that's just because your app does not have those scopes available. And to get them, it's simply just add them in the app. And then before you can access them, you need to update the tokens, right? Here. Oh, that's right. So then in the Node-RED flow, in particularly this node called credential, here, the scopes might not be included here. Or you can put the scopes here in your Node-RED application, but then you don't have access to them. You've not done the necessary addition by adding the scopes in the GoHighLevel app that you create your marketplace, which is, and then, so if I go into my markets, and this is the one I'm looking for, kind of like testing stuff out, and you have to add these scopes here, and then adding your redirect URL there. It's, it might seem complicated, at least it did to me when I was beginning to learn this. But once it works, it clicks, and then it's just easy. Now, when I say it's easy, it doesn't mean, like, if I were to do this in Python or just a different programming language or using a different platform, you're going to encounter issues. I mean, unless you know that platform in and out, and you've used it so many times to build these that you have to debug. You have to understand, why isn't it working? I know it should be, but why? And there's some piece that's missing. And it's all just being persistent, looking at the error message. I love the error messages just because they are a guide to solution. And when you change, when the error message changed, that is a success because you fixed the old issue that was occurring, and now you have to fix the new issue. And eventually, through practice, you begin to understand how these systems are built and how they work. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And I also have these things built on the Zero platform. Like I said, you can use there's so many platforms now these days. I guess this should be considered low-code. But the best solution, in my opinion, is using a full-fledged programming language. And my favorite is Python. That is my next step, is to build this Python. To do the same thing, it's I'm going to try and do it. Getting some errors for sure. Expect that. And people who don't understand that errors happen and just have never programmed, or they are extremely rare cases. But so when you encounter errors, think of them as thank yous that they if it's errors for the database, if it's errors for the connection to GoHighLevel's API endpoints, like they're trying to help you to access their services in a secure manner. So love the errors as they will be the error messages as they will be your friend. to fixing and making what you want to have work. Have a good day. Thank you. Do let me have any question, reach out to me. I hang out at, this is a weird thing to say, but I hang out at GoHighLevel Slack channel. And there are some really nice people on there that are very helpful. And every one of us tries to assist as much as we can. And, just pass it on. We're all here to help our business accounts and for those businesses to use GoHighLevel to help their customers, clients. So, and you can find that channel on GoHighLevel developers.GoHighLevel.com and click on community. And, if I have my Slack channel open, it would just allow me in there. But if you're not, just sign up and you'll be part of a wonderful community of GoHighLevel developers who use the API to make things automated. And so if this was too windy, have a good day. Bye-bye.